in bed asleep when suddenly a second sense goes off like an alarm clock. You sit up, and at the side of your bed, you see a stranger staring at you.
I get right to the point. Aztec coin. I got $1 million worth of them.
Where did you get it?
Legitimate. I'm an archaeologist. Took me 2 years, but I found it. The tomb of an Aztec prince. That's all I can tell you about it now.
Maybe you stole it. I don't know. Or better yet, why can't you take it out of the country?
A couple of partners of mine wanted more than their share.
Yeah? For all I know, those coins may be just souvenirs.
All right. If you change your mind, you can reach me through Avermendes. He hangs around the thieves' market.
The next morning, I headed for the Mexican government assayer's office. I wanted to be sure the Aztec coin was authentic.
There is an old legend that says the Aztec prince Estela Socha was buried in a tomb close to the pyramids, about 30 miles from the city. The legend also says that the prince was buried with 12 million pesos in gold. If it is authentic, it's solid gold. Let me test it. Excuse me.
The clerk had been gone for over 15 minutes. I wondered how long it should take to judge the degree of gold in the coin. I had a feeling he could be calling the police. And he returned.
My apologies, but I wanted to be sure. It is authentic. May I ask, where did you find the coin?
Sorry, I can't tell you. As soon as I hit the street, I spotted the two men. The clerk had called the police. It's funny, but there's something about plainclothesmen in any country. I can usually spot them, even in the dark. They started to follow me, so I made it easy for them. I headed for a restaurant and waited. They were very polite. They asked if I'd go along with them. The Don Pedro Sanchez wanted to see me. It was important. It didn't pay to argue, so I asked who Don Pedro Sanchez was. Their answer surprised me. Senor Sanchez was a very important official in the Ministry of Education. That was all they'd say. It was only a short distance to his office, and I was ushered in immediately.
Some time ago, an American, Harry Banning, came to me representing himself as an archaeologist. He wished to attempt to locate the tomb of the Aztec prince Isla Soche, who, legend says, lies buried close to the pyramids 30 miles from the city. Senor Banning's credentials were in perfect order, so I personally approve his permit.
I feel it coming. You put yourself on the hook, huh?
Precisely. When 2 months passed without receiving any report from him, I went to the pyramids myself and learned that Banning and 3 other Americans had found the tomb. Then they had vanished into the jungle, taking with them a box. Only one peon knew what was in it. It was filled with gold pieces. And he had this to prove his story. They had dropped it.
An Aztec coin. Solid gold.
It is exactly like the one you had evaluated this morning.
True.
Where did you find it?
I didn't win it in a dice game.
I understand you are not for hire. However, I am offering a reward. $25,000 for the recovery of the treasure.
Banning had said Arizamendi could locate him. I found Arizamendi without any trouble. He told me to go to the floating gardens of Xochimilco, take one of the boats to the other side, that I'd find him there. I wanted to convince Banning to surrender the Aztec coins. I figured that wasn't going to be too tough, because as I saw it, the Mexican government would give him 1/2 of the treasure, roughly $500,000.
Had to make sure you were alone.
Look, Banning, you're legally entitled to half of any of the gold you've discovered. Why not give the government its half?
No thanks. Finders keepers. Besides, I got complications.
Banning said he'd been in too many jams with police of other countries. He'd entered Mexico with phony papers, so he wasn't anxious for the authorities to catch up with him. He figured with his past record, they'd deport him and confiscate the treasure.
The police boys I can duck. What's got me in a sweat is Chico, my partner. He murdered those two guys that helped us dig up the gold, and he almost got me. So I stashed the gold in a safe place. With Chico on my tail, I'll never get it out of Mexico. I want you to smuggle it to South America. I'll give you 200 grand.
It's a big slice. Only it's no deal. He mumbled the knife had been tossed by Chico. He said I was to give one half of the gold to his girl, Sarah Mitchell, at the Luna Hotel. When I asked him about the gold, he said, pink butterfly, wall, opposite stairs. And before he could tell me more or where I could find Chico, Banning died. I telephoned the police and told them where they could find Banning's body. I didn't give them my name. Then I traveled across the city to Sarah Mitchell's bungalow at the Luna Hotel. I knocked on the door and a voice purred.
Come in, Harry.
Sarah Mitchell was a sleek, attractive blonde. My name's Lanyard. I want to talk to you.
If you're looking for Harry Banning, he's not here. But you're welcome to stick around and wait till he gets back.
I gather he kept no secrets from you. I wouldn't either. About that Aztec gold he found. You know where he hid it?
You're rocking on your heels. Harry's broke. I had to huck my mink coat for a plane ticket to get here.
Just the same, he did find it. $1 million worth.
He's told me nothing. What's more, now that Harry's Mr. $1 million, I suppose he's run out on me. I'd like to get my hands on him.
You'll have to reach out very far. He's dead. Somebody knifed him. I'm sorry. I'm looking for the man who killed him. Did you ever meet his partner, Chico?
Not that I remember.
Would your memory improve if I told you Banning said to give you half the gold? If I found it?
Listen, Buster, I'm no grab-all. I'll be truthful with you. Even if Harry was still around and made of solid gold, I'd leave him.
Why?
It's none of your concern. Let's talk about something else.
Sure. Let's talk about Chico.
I don't know him.
Think it over. I'll be back. Maybe Sarah had told me the truth, but for the moment it wasn't important. I had to find a man I'd never seen called Chico, and all I knew about him was that he knew how to handle a knife. Then I thought of Banning's words. Pink butterfly, wall, opposite stairs. I figured if pink butterfly was a special drink, the rest could mean a bar room or cafe. 20 bars later, I hadn't found even one guy who knew the drink. Then I went to the Copa de Oro cafe. I started my routine again, only this time the bartender gave me a different answer. He knew the drink.
Mille pardons, senor. I confess, I do not know the pink butterfly. All the time I wish people to say, there is no drink Panson cannot make. So I make one up to fit the name.
Christen is a black beetle, will you? I hadn't missed her seeming interest in me when I first entered the cafe, and now she wasn't even being subtle. like a drink?
Please.
I'm not stepping out of line. But you look to me as though you recognized me.
You are too modest, senor. Any woman's eyes would dwell upon you. A glass of wine, Bonson.
My name's Michael Lanyard.
And mine is Elena Montero. You are an Americano, of course.
Huh?
Many come here. I like to talk with them, to practice the English.
Perhaps you met one named Banning. He's a friend of mine. He was murdered today. Oh, you did know him?
No, we were not acquainted. You are investigating his death?
Hardly. That's a job for the police. I'm just a lonesome sightseer. You're the loveliest sight I've seen. You have dinner with me.
I already have an engagement.
Bonzone, don't leave these glasses on the bar. Put them where they belong. How many times do I have to tell you I want everything kept orderly?
Who's he? Helena told me his name was Jordan. He owned the place, and he was well liked by everyone. She said his only fault was being almost fanatical about neatness. You didn't have to be a genius to know she was in love with him.
Mr. Lanyard, Mr. Jordan.
Jordan?
Nice to know you. You enjoying my place, Mr. Lanyard?
Why not? With this company. Incidentally, Miss Montero tells me she's dining with you tonight. I'd be happy if you both have dinner with me.
I'd like that, but unfortunately, I have to meet my wholesaler tonight. As usual, he's trying to jack up his prices. I'm sorry about tonight, Elena. Look, why don't you two go on ahead? It's the least I can do for a fellow American.
Thanks.
You will eat the dinner I cook for him.
Oh, no.
Oh, I will still be your guest because I cannot leave here yet. So you must hurry to the store before it closes and buy the chicken.
She told me how to take a shortcut to the store, and she gave me her address on the Avenida Mariano. I went along with her pitch because I still remembered how she'd almost dropped her wine glass when I'd mentioned Banning. Before I kept my date with Elena, I decided to see Sarah Mitchell again. I had a feeling she knew much more than she told me. Then I saw someone run into the shadows. I was certain it had been a man. I wondered if it could have been Chico. Then I wondered about Sarah. I wondered if she was okay. Sarah. What happened?
It was a man, a native. I was sleeping. A noise woke me up. Oh. It was dark in here, but I could see him ransacking the desk. I tried to run, and he pounced on me.
What did he look like?
I couldn't tell. He had a sombrero pulled down, and he had my back toward him. He kept asking me where the gold was hidden. I told him I didn't have the least idea what he was talking about, and he said he'd find it anyway, and then he hit me.
There was only one thing to do, because I was tired of playing games. Pink butterfly, wall, opposite steps. Those were Banning's last words, Sarah. What do they mean?
Sounds like gibberish. You slipped your... Wait a minute. I know what pink butterfly means. It's soda pop.
Soda pop?
Yeah, Harry loved the stuff. He kept an icebox full of it. And there's a big box in the kitchen with a pink butterfly painted on it.
Big box.
I get it. You thought you'd find something else.
Yeah, I was following a hunch that pink butterfly was a special drink. One mixed by a bartender who could have been friendly with Banning. I might have known where he'd hidden the gold.
You were off. Harry would never have palled around with the bartender. He hated liquor and bars. His mind must have slipped just before he died.
No, he knew what he was saying. I can't imagine how pink butterfly soda pop ties in with $1 million of coins, but I intend to keep looking till I find the answer. Sarah, next time Chico might not miss.
Mike, I'm scared.
You want to start from the beginning?
Yeah, the beginning. All right. The first day I arrived in Mexico City, I came to this hotel and was waiting for Harry when the phone rang. I answered it, and a man asked me how I enjoyed my trip. Before I had time to say anything, he told me that Harry wouldn't be alive long. I thought it was a gag. I asked him if he wanted me to give Harry that message. He said yes, and his name, too. It was Chico.
Go on.
By the time Harry got back, I was worried sick. I told him about the telephone call, and he laughed. He said it was nothing, to forget about it.
Did he tell you who Chico was?
No, but that night, a knife was thrown at Harry. It missed him by inches. That did it. I told him I'd had enough, that I wasn't interested in trading in my sweaters for a steel vest.
Then what happened?
Then he told me about the Aztec gold. He said he'd hidden it, and as long as Chico couldn't find it, he was safe.
Did you believe him?
I suppose I did. Then Harry told me he wanted to lay low, but he'd keep in touch with me. When you showed up, I thought you were Chico, trying to get me to tell you where Harry was. Now he's dead, and the guy's after me. Honest, Mike, I don't know where the gold is. And what's more, even if you do find it, give it back to the government. All I want to do is get back to the States.
Maybe Banning left a note or a map around someplace.
If he did, Chico probably found it after he slugged me and ransacked the place.
We'll look anyway, huh? I realized that Chico was very neat. Everything had been carefully folded and put back. And suddenly I thought of the word neat. I'd heard it said earlier, and about a man. At that moment, it didn't make too much sense, but it was the only lead I had to go on. I decided it was important to keep my dinner date with Elena Montero. I told Sarah not to worry. I found Elena's house and noticed the door was partially opened. The lights were on, but no one seemed to be at home. And I saw a peon outfit, neatly folded and carefully placed on a chair. I was almost certain that it was the outfit worn by the person I'd seen running from Sarah's bungalow. I figured that at last I'd caught up with Chico. The next move was for me to call the local police, but I never got the chance because the ceiling suddenly fell on me.
Maybe someday you'll learn to mind your own business, Lanyard. You don't look so good. And you're not half as tough as I've heard. Come on, get up.
I don't get it, Jordan. You asked me to keep a date with your girl, and you go off your rocker. What's it all about?
Who do you think you're kidding? You followed me here. Somehow you figured out that I was Chico. But I'll tell you something, Lanyard. It's not going to do you any good.
Okay, so you're Chico. Why push me around?
Look. You tell me where Banning hid those coins, huh? Tell me and I'll give you back your life.
You know as much as I do. You heard me tell Sarah about that pink butterfly soda pop. You heard enough to throw that knife.
I guess I was wrong. You're not very smart. All right, I'm through talking. Get up. Start moving. Come on your feet.
Wait a minute. My head. Mexico. And I saw it. A pink butterfly label. Where had he picked it up? In Sarah's kitchen? Maybe. I only knew that wherever the gold was hidden, soda pop bottles were on the scene. A store, a storeroom, I wasn't sure. But I was positive someone had that answer.
Ponson, where's Elena?
She says she'll be right back. She says she forgot something home. I make you drink while you wait. But this time, no pink butterfly. I'm still ashamed.
You needn't be. It isn't a bar drink.
Ah, stupid I am. If you had but mentioned the Spanish name, I would have remembered. Mariposa color de rosa. Pink butterfly. The soda pop.
Yeah, that's right. I'd hit low tide. I felt that Elena had ducked out for good. I was going to have to check every store and vendor in the city. And the quicker I got started, the better.
How many stores in the neighborhood carry that soda pop?
None, senor. The company, she went broke. It has not been on the market for perhaps 6 months. The bottling plant still stands empty over at Tacubaya.
That was the answer. A closed bottling plant. The riddle of the pink butterfly was over, except for one thing. Finding the spot in the plant where Banning had hidden the Aztec coins. I telephoned Don Pedro Sanchez and told him it was important he meet me at the plant in Tacubaya. He said he would. I'd carefully covered every inch of the place, but I'd found nothing. I went down into the storeroom again and began methodically to search. I wondered if my hunch about the coins being in the plant had been right. Then I got a break. The granite blocks were loose. I figured it was all there, in individual sacks. $1 million in Aztec gold coins. And I heard something. Or someone. I decided the best thing to do was to duck. And wait.
Has to be here. Banning must have left the money in this warehouse. I'm sure of it. That's what he meant by pink butterfly.
Maybe.
We have to find it today. Lanyard's getting too close.
You can handle Lanyard.
Well, he's got too much on me. Once I get my hands on the money, we're going to have to make ourselves scarce.
Don't move, either of you. Give me your gun, Elena. Or do I have to search you for it? Throw it to me. Okay. Let's go.
Excellent fencing, Senor Lanyard.
These two were a team. Your gold's hidden in the wall over there.
For too many people, gold is the beginning and the end of all things. Haven't you forgotten something?
Have I?
To reward $25,000.
I'm trying to work this out.
What's there to work out? We owe you $25,000.
There's a girl in the Luna Hotel. Her name's Sarah Mitchell.
We clear her.
She needs a ticket back to the States. And she could use a little folding money. Okay?
Okay.